up, everybody? You tuned into the Just Saying podcast with your girl Chanel Monique, where real talk meet real power. This is your space for bold conversation, healing truth, and unapologetically womanhood. Grab your drink, get comfy, and let's get into it because I'm just saying. So today we sitting here with my girl Erica Hines.
Hello, hello.
And today's topic is when sisterhood heals. So it's real sisterhood heals. So we're talking friendship, forgiveness, and feminine power. Um, I hate when I say y'all. Exploring the importance of female friendship, community, and healing from betrayal. So the hurt caused by toxic female relationships, how healing sisterhood bond can empower women, tips for building genuine sisterhood. So, Miss Erica.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing, girl?
I'm amazing. Of course, you know I was gonna come support.
It's always
You
good
knew I
to
was
see you,
coming
girl.
through. Yes.
So, our first question: have you ever healed through a sisterhood experience? Meaning, like, if you was going through something hurtful or something like that, you reached out to a sister or another woman or a cousin, but it had to be a female or something.
Okay.
So, like, have you ever experienced that? And how was it? Like, did she help you? Did she have encouraging words? Like, how was it if you did?
Well, I want to say I'm not for sure if I really just had a problem because I'm always the person they call when they have a problem. Only if I've learned to listen and I be, when people call you about certain things, they don't want you to be judgmental. They want you to listen. So I had to learn to listen, but I can't really say I called anyone to talk about any hurt because I've just learned among women, it's just certain things we just keep to ourselves, and if you don't want it to go outside of yourself and everybody else, you just kind of keep it to yourself. So I can't say offhand that I can't think of something offhand, but let us go on down and maybe I can think of something.
Yeah, well, I had experience where I had somebody that I was able to talk to when I was going through my divorce. I had reached out to my cousin and she helped me through a lot. Yeah, because baby, that was a tough one. So so I was happy I was able to talk to her.
Was she divorced as well, or?
Yeah, she was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. So she like you say, just listening, because a lot of people, some people just don't be knowing what to say either. So and they don't be wanting to say the wrong thing, or whatever. So they'll just listen to you, but then of course you just have to find a solution, because you can't always keep calling.
Us black folks, we pray about it. I'm just gonna pray about it and wake up in the morning.
That's it.
It's gonna be better.
Try not to call and talk about the same stuff all the time. So I was happy to have her during that trying time because it was a trying time.
I too went through a divorce, but I can't say I didn't have nobody that actually went through a divorce. It was either like my aunts and uncles, they still together. So I can't say that I had certain people that went through a divorce, or I was the only one married in my circle. So I didn't have nobody to talk to about my divorce. It was just more like, I'm divorced. I'm good, like, well, yeah, we was kind of going through some things, and it's official, with Memorial Day coming up, it'll be 8 years that I've been divorced. And
is she excited?
8 years, the lucky number 8. And I was like, man, that is, but me and my ex-husband, we co-parent really, really well. So I don't think it really felt like a divorce. It was just like we tried to make it work for so long. It didn't work no more. And we shook hands and we was like, girl, we gonna raise these kids and, do right by these babies and keep it pushing. And we have,
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's good. Yeah, it's just, with us women, it's just hard to get us to come together sometimes and just have a real genuine conversation without a lot of cackling and talking about each other and everything.
Well, I could think it comes along with the type of female too, because if we had more females like us, where we didn't look for little things to try to undercut females and try to look at them and stuff like that. I don't look at females like that. So no, when women come into my space and that are women of like mind, like myself, we kick it. It be them them booger wolves. Or maybe even beautiful women that don't even know they're beautiful. It be those type of women that give you, looking you up and down. I already know what type of woman that I'm going to see when she look me up and down.
Right.
Versus a woman just saying, hello, how you doing? Versus, trying to pick me apart before I even, girl, I got my own clothes. You got to pick me apart.
Right. And that's the problem. So what you think? So how can we probably break that cycle or something
I think it's a generational curse.
Right.
I don't think. Don't you think they would have broke that 400 years ago when the house Negroes was hating on the field Negroes and the Negroes? I mean, that's generational.
That's crazy.
We fix what's in our household. I teach my daughter not to hate on. I have a stepdaughter, the youngest one. I mean, not the youngest because my daughter's the youngest one, but the one outside of my ex-husband. Well, no, I said it all wrong. I got a lot of stepdaughters, okay? So this one particular that I'm really close with, when she was younger, she used to always be like, oh, she thinks she all that. And I'd be like, what did she say? Because I didn't hear her say anything. And she was like, well, she didn't say nothing. It's just how she acted. And it's like, no, she's supposed to walk with confidence. That is a great thing to walk with confidence. Right. So now she's like in her early 20s. And me and her was talking about that, and we was laughing. She said, oh, I don't know why I was like that, because she's such a love bug now that she's like, oh, she's cute. What she got on is cute. Like she gives compliments so easy now. But when she was younger, it was more like, and I think that was just the environment she was around, because I'm like, who taught you that? Right. You know what I'm saying? She told me when we were talking, she said, I'm so glad that you were positive. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have that type of positive role model, you can't be positive. Right. If you're around everybody that's looking at everybody crazy and looking them up and down, it's easy to rub off on you. But if you're around people that's more positive and that don't mind showing love, you like, hey, it's more accepting. So I don't think it's about breaking it. It's just some women, it's going to be some women, and you're going to be who you are. Right. And you can only change yourself. I can't change little ugly. I'm just kidding. That ain't nice. That's not very sisterly, but I'm just saying, you don't see pretty girls like that. I've never had a problem with a pretty girl or a confident girl. It's always somebody that's not confident. Right. I think it's like the media a lot too. You think? Because we didn't have media then. We didn't. And it was still hate going on. Right. And it still was. There was just three-way hate. People calling you. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So no, I don't think it's me. I think it probably helps. I mean, escalate things with social media and things like that. But I think that's been. Your mama was a hater. Your mama's mama was a hater. Your daddy's daddy was was a buster. So now you a buster. And they don't. Yeah, I guess you got to be taught in the house, whatever, just breaking the curse in the house or whatever. And then if the mama not speaking positivity into you, then you not gonna speak it into somebody. You don't know how, right? Who unless you around in a good circle, in a positive circle, if you run into good people. Absolutely. Right. That's the only how we gonna break that. I'm breaking it at my household. So I know that's right. So I'm breaking over there. In my household, girl, we don't speak nothing but positive and love and we don't hate. We know it's a time for everybody. Right. You up now? It's gonna be my turn in a minute too. You know what I'm saying? And clap just as loud like I clap for you. It's okay. Right. What's mine is mine. And it's hard to get genuine claps. You know how they just be. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, you see, I be rooting for you, girl, and I didn't even know we didn't even know each other like that. Right. But I mean, shit, I'm not no hater. Yeah, so and I see you know how we gravitated to each other because you a boss and I'm a boss, and there's no hate. What's your side? I'm a Capricorn. Well, that's another thing. Capricorn and Aquarius. I think you're Aquarius, right? Yeah. So we're good already with the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. Are real great friends. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn. So that alone, we clicked from day one. Yep, we did. That's so amazing. Because Erica is sweet, y'all. She always smiling. Yeah. But they always be like, "Oh, you too friendly." But no, this is who I am. If I can't be myself around you, then I go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? So if I ain't seeing all your teeth when you see me, baby, I'll see you next time. Like, let me get out her space. I know that's right, baby. So how can women build? Well, I guess that's what we just was talking about. How they could build trust again after being betrayed by another woman. Go around great women. Right. If you know it's a trash can type of set of women, crabs in a barrel, as they talk about, don't put you on resources, don't want you to get ahead of them in certain things, then why are you even entertaining them females? I don't go. It's okay to sit in the house by yourself. And I think a lot of times women, we don't get that. We have to be in somebody's face. No, you don't. You don't. It is okay to sit in at your house in them four walls and get yourself together. Right. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in my circle is who I grew up with. Right. That's crazy to me. Like everybody I thought I would come up with that would be so happy. Girl, nobody. You wasn't in my circle 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's certain people. I think because I'm not from here, but nobody, yeah, we would have been met each other. If you nobody. Well, I think when I go back home and stuff, I still talk to a few people that I didn't went to school with, but we not like be hanging out like we used to hang out and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's because like did you outgrow them? You maybe. Yeah, we could have outgrown each other because we don't talk on the phone no more, like we used to and stuff back in the days, whatever. But everybody, do their own thing, whatever. And I'm one of the persons that I really don't have a lot of female friends either. I don't because I'm home all the time. They be Chanel, you coming so and I say, yeah, girl, I'm coming. And then when it's time to go, no, girl, I'll feel like her. Why do you feel? Why do you do that? I think I get tired. Tired what? Why you just didn't say no? I catch you next time. Because at that point I was going. Like I felt like I was going. Yes, girl. Yes, I'm going. Like yes, I'm coming or whatever. I be had an outfit, something in mind, what I'm gonna wear. So, but I don't know. Then when the time comes, be like, I don't even feel like going. So like, no, I ain't going. Whatever. And so they like Chanel. We be asking you to come, but you'll never come. And I be like, okay, for real, I'm gonna come. So, and most of the time, if I say for real, I'm gonna come, then okay, I'm gonna show up. Something like that. But I think it just be me. Like I just be wanting to be at home. and that's valid. Yeah, I don't get invited to a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And mainly, they say it's God's protection when they don't. Well, I invite you to some stuff, Erica, but you be with your grandbaby and stuff. Well, I am, but life is a little different for me. The grandbaby can't cover something, but I be. No, it's not that. My grandson has autism, so I have to make sure that his environment is comfortable for him. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's me, it's different. You know what I'm saying? I can kind of maneuver in any environment, but with the autistic child, you have to do what's best for them. It don't have nothing to do with nothing else but them. So some environments he just don't do well in. Some environments he does absolutely amazing in, but some environments he just don't. So it's not that I don't want to bring him. It's just that I've learned, that what he can tolerate and what he can't tolerate. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. But no, keep inviting me, girl. Keep inviting me. I'm gonna come and see. Maybe we like the same person. Right. I stay so far too. I'm like 40 minutes from everybody. Because I be thinking about it. Say, shoot, Erica live too damn. Girl, everybody be saying that. They like, oh, you stay so far. I'm like, that's fine because I know that if your ass really wanted to come, you drive. I don't want to hear that I'm that far or none of that. Stay in Never Land like my man, and I love it. Mm-hmm. When I'm in a town, I don't think I ever moved back like closer to the city. I like staying out in La La Land. Keep them in Wonderland, girl. Just keep them wondering. Never Land. That's what I call it. Never Land. That's what I call it. That's what I tell Chantrell because she stay weed in Never Land. Mm-hmm. I'll fall like that. But yeah, you have a little cozy yard and stuff because I stay sitting in that yard. I kind of made it so comfortable for me that you don't even really have to leave the house. Right. I even did a gym. I know. The gym. Because you was doing the gym. Oh yeah. Yeah. When I was doing the daycare. Yeah. When I was doing the daycare. So I made it so comfortable. You really don't have to leave, but I don't work out as much because you know what they say. If you really go work out, you have to take it outside the household because I be thinking about stuff I need to dust off. Like, oh man, get down. It's stuff up there. You got to clean that. So it's not a good. That's not good. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm gonna get better. Yeah, I'm gonna get better stuff. Whatever. But I wish women would, like come together, more or whatever, so their relationship could get better, whatever, and stop. They always bickering about something, like especially a man.
Lord,
it's so little of them, I guess. I don't know. It's okay to be single. I think if they get that part, it'll be okay.
And that's another thing. They have to get to know who they are. They got to get with themselves, you know, whatever, so they can figure themselves out, and then they'll realize that a man will come. You know, when
and if he don't, you still got to be whole and okay with self.
Right.
You know,
because I always say, if you can't be by yourself, how you gonna be with somebody else?
They don't know because they never been by themselves.
Right, because they can't, because they have to always be somewhere. You know, like they have to be by this one house, that one house, or just somewhere with a crowd of people. Like, it's just a bad thing to just be by
I think with women that used to be, I had never been by myself. This is the 8 years, girl. I didn't even think I had these 8 years in me. Because I had never, been by myself. So I didn't know what it was like either. I think these men made it easy to be like, oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want peace of a man either. Right. I'm like, so I had fun in my early 20s, but at 46, girl, I can't even let nobody. I'm a Libra too, so it's only a certain. It's a Libra. I mean, I'm a Libra. Do you understand me? I will block you and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? You be laying one to land. Like, what did I do? Right. You know what I'm saying? You did something, but I'm a Libra. You know, I will leave.
Yeah, and men have made it easy for us to not want to be bothered, which they always act like, oh, we the ones who they don't want to be bothered with, or something. But yeah, because it's just like too many people is out here accepting too many things, and they want you to accept a whole lot of things. They be living with for instance, I met a guy and he had a wife and a girlfriend.
Oh wow! And what was he? What was you supposed to do?
That's what I say. I say so. I say so. Well, yeah, I say so. Well, I'm supposed to be in this, whatever. Well, I'm being honest or whatever. And,
thank you.
And but I'm going through a divorce with my wife and this and that, and me and the girlfriend, we not about to be together. Well, do both of them know this? They know what you're telling me because, honey, they probably don't know none of this. And this other person, me and my baby mama live together, but we ain't together.
Oh.
What?
Girl, I don't even get those. I think they be knowing like she is not. I don't get those. Yeah. If anything, they be like, I hate her. Ain't no coming back to this. And they probably is staying with, I don't know, but they be like, I absolutely hate her. But I don't talk to men that talk about their ex. Because I'm not your counselor. Go get a counselor. Go get healed. And before you come to me, at least be 80% healed. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Why are you even looking for anything extra when you're not still healed? Yeah.
And a lot of people, that's it. A lot of people need to sit down with themselves so they could heal. But they don't not do that. That's why they go jump into another relationship. Then they mess up that person. Whatever. Then they go to the next relationship. Then they mess up that person.
Well, you can always tell to me that a man, the relationship he had with his mother.
Yes.
I will not deal with a man who don't have a bad relationship with his mother. Like, absolutely
who
not.
Don't have a good relationship.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. They don't have a good, relationship or willing to work on the relationship with his mother. But if he hate his mama, baby, he gonna hate me. It is nothing he gonna. And I'm such a diehard mother that I'm like, go fix that. If you still walking around 45, 50, I still can't. She did this. She go get healed. You know what I'm saying? I had to go get healed. I had childhood trauma and drama. But if you didn't go get healed, you'll be still pouring that on everybody. Hi, my name's Chanel, but I went through, no. Nobody wants to hear that. Go get healed. It's okay.
Yeah. It's hard for a lot of people to get healed because they like being the victim.
That's true.
They, to tell their story, whatever. Yeah, this happened to me, yeah, that happened to me. Yeah, they did this, or my mama did this, or my daddy did that. And I think Black people have a problem with sitting and talking to somebody, like a real specialist. I think they do have a problem.
You talked about this with my mother. She will absolutely not go to a counselor. I mean, back in those days, you just didn't tell your business to other people. You kept your business inside the household. And that's just something she didn't break from. And I'm just like, no, but that's eating you up. You need to go talk to somebody. I'm not a counselor. So I may be a little more cutthroat than a counselor. Do you understand? Especially if I'm hearing it over and over and over. I want to shake you and say, what are you doing? Right. Why are we still talking about this 10, 15, 30 years? I can't help you. I don't know the steps to help you get to where you need, but you need to go seek those steps. Right. But I think as they're getting older folks, it's just, I know my mama's in her 60s and she will not, I don't care. I've been offered all kinds of people. Do you understand?
And then that's the problem too. Like some of the older people, they still don't want to tell us about a lot of things, because they like, oh no, we can't talk about right. We can't talk about Auntie Mary them and what Uncle Johnny did and this and that and that. Like okay, but if something happened between Auntie Mary and Uncle Johnny or whatever, and that bothered that kid, had something to do with that kid, then y'all should tell, like what happened, so that could help that child heal. You know what I'm saying? And they still don't talk. They will just bring all that stuff.
They will go to the grave. That is a real thing that people literally died hurting. Right. Because they took certain things to the grave. That was a thing. It's certain things I'm gonna take to the grave, Chanel. I am not sitting up here all holy. I'm gonna tell you. It's certain things, but it don't have nothing to do with my children. It has a lot to do with myself. I just don't feel for what? What am I? So I don't know what their mindset is, but as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think something I'm going to the grave with.
Their mindset is just still thinking of being embarrassed or ashamed, or they should have did this different or they should have did that different, like the help, like that child or whatever, because they tell us what goes on in this house, stay in this house. But we try to now we try to talk to our kids, like let me know, if this happened or that happened, like don't be scared to come and tell me this or tell me that, whatever. They like sugarcoated a lot of stuff with us, like when we was coming up, instead of just being straightforward, whatever. So we try to go find stuff out on our own, and we just kept bumping our heads.
Well, they did too. Right. Do you understand? They learned this behavior from somebody else too, and they just passed it down to us. It was up to us to break that cycle. I can say I broke whatever cycle that was going on within my family. You know what I'm saying? Even from being teenage pregnancy, like I have two graduates, that didn't have my son is 31 and he just had his second child, which, I'm so proud of that, so stuff that I did, they weren't allowed to do.
Right. And that's how I was with my kids. I actually told my girls, I told them all boys was the devil and they had AIDS.
Oh God! I definitely didn't scare them like that because they asked, "Well, go get AIDS." You understand? Because they gonna go mess with them boys.
I told
How long did it last?
It lasted their 20s, baby. Well, they was scared. I brought home, back in the 90s, we had all this technology stuff. So I went to the little family planning, and I used to bring home pamphlets because we had books. Yes. And I bought my son a bag of condoms. They give me that brown
different
bag
colors.
of condoms. Yes, different color condoms. And I used to tell him, because them boys be different from them girls. If you're out here trying to mess with them girls, you better put one of these on or whatever. Right, or it's gonna fall off. Right. And I used to show them all the pictures. This gonna happen to you. I said, this gonna happen to you if you touch a boy, so you better leave them boys alone.
I did that too.
I said all the boys had AIDS. Yeah, I did scare them. I definitely.
I didn't say AIDS. I didn't go that far. But I remember my son even thinking about fingering some young lady, and I remember showing him pictures of warts, and it was warts that you could get regular warts. But I didn't care. I made up this whole story. Look, he put his finger in there and look, and he was like, oh my God. And them little girls was letting him do that in middle school. And I'm like, if you do this again, look what you can happen. You want this water on your finger? So I don't know at what point that he was like, she blowing smoke. But
I think, I told my baby girl, because she was in 11 or 12th grade, and we was talking, and I say, so what you have a little boyfriend or something now, whatever, you be talking to them boys, them girls be laughing. So I said, oh, that's what you be doing when they be talking to you, whatever. I said, you better leave the boys alone before you get AIDS. I told you the boys got AIDS. So my other daughter said, Mama, you is playing and stuff.
That is scary.
She said, but for a long time, I thought you and my daddy had AIDS.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That is one of the ones that backfired on your butt.
That was so funny. And I ain't never even thought about it like that. Like, they'd be like, well, how we get here then? She said that,
because we were married. Crazy.
Right. Like, I had AIDS or whatever, but yeah, that was my story. I told them Monday, but nobody brought me home no kids.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I was happy about that. I must have preached to them children and preached to them, please don't bring home no kids. Don't bring home no kids. Just go and have fun in school. Just do this, do whatever.
I think with this generation, they're mainly gay, so you don't even have to worry about them bringing kids home nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You be praying that they bring a kid home. Hey, bring something home now. Shit, now. I ain't gonna never have no grandbaby.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But
you be happy if the girl come home with a boy.
Or the boy come home. I promise you, this is a different age, a different time. Do you understand me?
It is.
So no, I don't
know. We just living in a crazy, crazy world now.
Yes. Well, our grandmothers told us about this. I know my grandmother did. I didn't think that I would live to actually see and witness a lot of the stuff that she told me when I was younger, but I'm seeing it now. Like everything that my grandmother told us when we was younger, I'm watching this. She didn't tell us about aliens, and I'm seeing aliens pop up, but other than that, everything else is like coming full circle, that what she told us about that Bible.
Right. The flying cars, the robots. Because they say by 2030 we gonna be sleeping with robots, human robots.
I believe that. Well, don't you see all the movies that's coming out? I do believe there's some truth about that, them having sex with them.
And I believe all the movies anyway, because the government be knowing. They be knowing. So when the movies come out, I be saying, well, this is about to happen.
Even like most of the stuff is real. If you look and do the research, even with the mermaids, like we don't think of stuff like that because it's always been a story. Right. Even with bed bugs, remember that? Don't let the bed bugs bite. And it is a such thing as bed bugs.
And I never knew they had no bed bugs until I moved to Oklahoma. I just thought that was something like my mom used to say good night. Yes. Bed bugs bite. I just thought that was something they were saying.
I never
saw a bed bug. Never knew it was real until we got to Oklahoma, and they was talking about the people got bed bugs. And I said, bed bugs real?
and they say they are gangsters. Do you understand? But they don't just die. Do you understand? They multiply for real. Do you understand me? They don't just die. But even with childcare business, that is a real big thing among the childcare business. I thank God in 21 years, I've never had no bed bug, like no outbreak, or no parents that actually had bed bugs. But I know providers who said they had to get their whole house gutted out because of bed bugs. So it's not like a easy fix either. Right. So that is like, man, and it's not a nasty thing. It's a traveling thing. We thought it was a nasty thing. Like, oh my God, they must be nasty.
It could get on your suitcase by you traveling and stuff. And
your jacket. You could be next to somebody and it jump on you. Even movie theaters. I know you hear about it. I see her itching. She's scratching. Because it will make you itch. I was sitting over here itching, but I'm like, I don't scratch, but you don't care. And then she's scratching in the background. So no, it will make you start itching a little bit. But no, movie theaters is horrible. That's why when I go to a movie theater, I always take all my clothes off even before I go into the home because they can't get on you at the movie theater, and they may not be biting you at the movie theater, but they could be on something, and even with lights. This is scary too. You don't want to be like you too close. Right. You don't want nobody's lights jumping out. Lights,
yes,
man.
And then they said lights is actually from clean hair. Be on clean hair. That's why it don't get in our hair too much.
Ours is greasy.
Yes, because our hair is dirty.
Well, they don't say we don't. Black people don't say it's dirty.
We be having all the grease.
Oily.
Yes, we have too much grease and too much product in our hair. So basically, it's dirty.
Well, I make sure I put. You have a biracial grandbaby child too, but I make sure I put oil because my grandbaby can get lice. You know what I'm saying? He still has that fine hair that he can pick up lice from the local kids at the school or whatnot. Right. So I make sure I put oil on him, and I tell his mother. Like, girl, put oil on his hair because you want him to have lights, this and that. But I stay on her about that too because they cannot connect to. But dry hair, they can. You know they don't. Even though I put oil in my hair, I wouldn't trust it. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
At all. Do you understand me?
Because nobody don't want no dang on big boys.
Girl, we'll have to shave our heads off. Like, that would be like the old school. I wouldn't even trust the shampoo. I'd be feeling like something was always on me or bite me or something. I wouldn't trust it.
Baby, the bed bugs ain't that nice, honey.
No, they vicious.
They get to bite you, honey. You be having big knots.
I've seen them. I don't know nobody personally that has. She's still scratching. I'm gonna get you, girl. And then she making me scratch. I feel like I'm just itching. But no, bed bugs is vicious. But thank God, thank God.
And how we start talking about bed bugs?
Because the ADHD is real. That's why ADHD is real. Robots, mermaids, aliens, UFOs, they all.
Shoot. Yeah,
it's all real.
And because they were talking about we gonna be sleeping with the dang on robots. I said,
not me. I'm not that freaky. So I'm just.
I was like, not the robots. Mm-hmm. I said, well, I hope I be married by then with a real husband.
Right. I don't know. What if a robot? He can do everything. Maybe cook me or get wet or something and flip you out. Like start having a malfunction and stuff.
He gonna flip out on me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But he could do everything. I would love to have a built-in man. A little something of everything.
He gonna build a house real fast.
Girl, now they don't make them no more. My grandpa, Jimmy Hines, I watched him literally build my grandmother a house. Like from the bottom up. That's why to me he is just a phenomenal. I feel like no man touched my grandfather. I literally watched him build a house from the bottom up. And something she didn't trust at first. I remember we were still in the old house and he had been in the new house for like 3 or 4 days and he kept telling her, you better come over there. And she was like, I don't know. And then eventually she took her butt over there and it was the best thing. My auntie them and uncle and them still stay in that house to this day. Oh, okay. So they don't make them type of men.
Right,
and
that's why I'm saying when you grow up and see that type of man, that's the type of man you want.
But that ain't what I went after either. Right. You know what I'm saying? So because that man don't exist no more. I mean, he's somewhere, but somebody else got him. Right. They already got him locked down.
And the thing is, he's probably single too, but he probably chose the wrong woman too. Because like it's good women. It's a lot of good women out here in the world, just like it's a lot of good men out here in the world. But we wind up with the wrong person, and so they destroying him, and then man destroying the good woman. Whatever. So and then eventually, sometimes they may run into each other, but they both so damaged, they're not trusting love. Like, damn, do he really love me? Damn, do she really love me? They tricking me. Ashton Kutcher about to jump out the bushes.
I'm feeling pumped. I know I be feeling like that when the men be in my inbox. I be like, am I getting hurt? Because they know damn well I wouldn't talk to them. Like, what is going on with that?
Right.
Like, what is going on? I be thinking Ashton gonna jump out on me. Like, where is he at? I always
say Ashton Kutcher's gonna jump out. I be like, damn, I must be getting punked. Ashton Kutcher.
Man, where is he at nowadays? I haven't seen him.
I don't know. I think he married old girl.
Living a.
Damn.
I know they were saying they don't shower every day. I thought that was kind of weird. Did you see that?
Who?
Him and her. They said they don't believe in showering every day.
They supposed to shower. They supposed to shower every day.
I can't tell. She said them.
Yes, because I didn't want to.
I can't stand her. But no, if you look him up, I seen him and her, and they have like 2 children or something like that. But they don't believe in like deodorant.
Is he married to the Heaven girl, the girl who played in it? What's her name?
No, that's Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
Justin Timberlake is with her. Oh, okay. No, he's married to. I can't think of. She's a comedian, actress. I can see her face because she got those big eyeballs.
I think he used to be with Gwyneth. I think.
No, he was with Demi for years.
He was with Demi after she went through the thing with Bruce. Bruce Willis.
Bruce is not doing too well too. Did you see him? I was just like, this girl. That's the ADHD.
I can't stand it.
How we get on Bruce?
But Bruce not doing good, and I like Bruce.
I love him too.
I like Bruce Willis.
I do too.
Yeah, but he's not doing good. He losing his memory.
Yeah, he has dementia
like
or something. But I was shocked.
I hate that for him because he done did so much and to just forget it all.
To forget it all, and they taking care of him like a baby, like pretty much. Yeah. How do you feel about that with dementia? I know with my kids, I told my kids they can put me in, they can't put me in home, but if I have dementia, they can because it just seemed like it'd be more hurt for them to take care of me, and it seemed like them people was mean too, like they forget everything
because they forget so often. See, my grandma had dementia and she forgot us. So
did that hurt? I mean, that had
because at one, if you sitting in front of them and talking, whatever, it's really like I'm Chanel. Yeah, I'm Lauren's daughter. Yeah, Lauren's daughter. Yeah,
your mom named Lauren.
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
That was my dad mom. She had dementia, and they'll kind of remember then because you in their face. But see, once you walk away and leave, it starts all over again. Like if you walk back up in there and she be like, who you is, kind of thing. So so that is a hurtful thing. And I hate that dementia is a thing,
that they don't have a cure for it by
anybody to go through dementia, to forget their life, to forget their loved ones. Yes, that's very, because they forget how to eat. And all that is true. They forget how to eat. They forget how to use the bathroom. Sometimes they forget to breathe,
or they get up and roam a lot, or they come up missing and things like that.
Yeah, but they had like a real close eye. She couldn't, go nowhere by herself. Like if somebody was always watching her and stuff like that. But they actually forgets everything.
Well, I've had that talk with my kids about.
But I still wouldn't want to go in no nursing home.
Well, not that.
And then I just forgot what the hell they did. Now I can't tell.
Now you trying to punch them and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying people be like, why are you trying to punch them? I don't know. I've been whooping on me all week.
Yeah,
right.
That's not funny, but that is a real thing.
Right. That's why I know I don't want to go to no home because they gonna really be.
Well, I didn't say a home. I would just say
none of it. They need, y'all better keep me at this house. Y'all better look after me. That's all I need.
I have a neighbor that her mother had dementia, and she did try to move her in. But she was up all night turning on the gas. She was doing certain things that they just could not.
They have to lock her down. Like literally put locks on the door.
Yeah.
And they have to lock
but
the
that's
windows,
not a life.
And stuff like that. But living in the living center somewhere, not no life either, and the people not changing you and doing you bad. Like,
ain't that sad?
So just lock me in the damn room if that's what y'all got to do.
and come here and take
care of me. Right. At least they gonna take care of me. Yeah, I'm not in the room for my own benefit. I don't know it.
Yeah.
But but in that dang on living center, them people ain't even changing me. I probably ain't even eating.
They don't.
Shoot, I'm coming back now.
I've never worked in that, in a nursing home setting, but I hear all the time about the bed sores or, the beatings, the hittings, because some people is hitting on you, especially if you hit them first and you don't know them. So you may hit them out of being frightened or something like that, but they gonna not win from you. You know what I'm saying?
I knew that wasn't a job for me.
Yeah,
that's something I never wanted to do. Yeah.
I'd rather deal with kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can love on them a little bit more. And I just think that's what my calling is, just the love. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to love on you. You hear me?
Well, okay, Miss Erica. So you want to tell the people something about how did they go? Did you do the accreditation?
I can't stand. No, I can't stand. No, I still haven't. It's coming up. My son ended up having. I can't stand us on this thing.
It's okay.
But no, I didn't do it yet. I'm in the process of doing it, but I just hadn't done it,
Oh,
but eventually,
because I know they just sent out that email again. So I'm like, see, I got to send y'all accreditation.
Yeah, I'm in rotation of it. I just haven't yet, did it, but I guess I'll do it once, I do it. But no, I am. I really don't have nothing besides I'm Erica Hines.
And she's awesome.
And amazing. Amazingly awesome. But
Yes.
you know, I'm a mother. Oh, I'm promoting my son's you know, my son is a rapper. Okay. Juice the Mac. But I'm promoting his clothing line, Sharks Only. I wore his little shirt today. You know, but he has you know, different apparel.
And why it's called Sharks Only?
Because you got to be able to swim. Only the sharks can be able to swim in the deep ocean. You know what I'm saying? So in order to be in the ocean, you got to be able to swim. Not a floaty. But no, so I don't know. I just had a new grandbaby. You know that.
I
Monique, the comedian. I was watching her stand up, and the stand up, she said that her grandmother, her father's mother, paternal mother, grandmother, always looked at her as her prize. You know, like, you my prize. Girl, when I held my baby, I felt like that was my prize. Like, I just felt like, I was like, I feel like his mother, like, like Monique's grandmother. Right. Like, and so I feel the need that I'm going to tell her that. You know, like, still Monique 50 years old, and she still remember her grandmother saying, you are my prize. You are my prize. And I remember just holding her, and she's smiling and looking at me and stuff. I'm like, man, she been here before. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought she's ready for me. She know who I am. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I love being a grandmother and a mother. Right. I do feel like that is my calling. You know, I was a young mother and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Was it hard? Absolutely. And then how I see my son, like blowing up everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like every time somebody's like, oh, I heard your son song this and this and that. And just seeing how he's taking care of his family and stuff like that. I just like, it's like, it was all worth it. You know, like passing up on all that fun. I didn't get to go to, you know, basketball games, prom, you know, but I was there for my kids. Like I was the one in the stand. I got to travel with my kids with sports because that was the benefit of being self-employed. I took off. Right. And I remember sometimes I used to have the daycare kids with me at the games. You know what I'm saying? Get them popcorn, get them some pop. Hey, sit down. You know what I'm saying? But it was very important that I be there for, you know, for him. And he can't never say that he was, you know. I didn't believe in sending my kids nowhere and it wasn't a parent there anyways. That was me and my ex-husband's rule anyways. You know, if we wasn't there, our kids, you couldn't go. And so, but
and that's a good rule.
It is a good
rule. People need to implement them rules these days.
Yes, they do, because you don't know who's over there at that house.
They don't, and they just send their children anywhere.
And that was another thing too. When I was married, we didn't let our kids go over single parent households. Right. But now I'm the single parent, so it's just like ain't nothing going on over here. We don't even have men sleep over here.
Tell you. My children couldn't go to nobody else. The kids had to come to my house.
That was my rule too.
That's how I was.
That was our rule too.
And they knew it. Like they knew. You know how we used to probably tell our mama, tell our friends, go ask my mom. You know?
Oh, I know.
My kids knew they couldn't do. I know she gonna say no, but what she gonna say? She gonna say you can stay here. You know whatever, but she gonna say no. It don't make sense for you to go ask.
But my kids were such homebodies, and we all introverts. We can sit in the house. But my friends would juice them up to go, and they would be calling.
Talking about
and I just assumed the house was dirty. Because I was like, because they know I'm OCD, you know? So I'm like, why are you calling me at 1 o'clock? Mama, you want me to come home? No, I did not want you to come home. Mama, you know, and I would have to get up and go. And I said, this one wouldn't go over there. But their floor was dirty. Or they had, they didn't have a bed. They want us to sleep on the floor. My kids ain't sleeping on my floor when they can sleep in the bed at the house. Like, no, I'm not. It sounded good because we was all over there playing the game, but now since it's time to go to bed, I think I'm going home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, no, I did all that.
Okay, y'all. So that's a wrap for this episode of Just Saying with Chanel Monique. And of
Erica Hines.
You know, y'all can find me at Chanel Monique. Everything, you know. And of course, go on ChanelMonique.net and get y'all a few books. I'm just saying.
Yeah, order a book. Reads. You know, I ordered a couple of your books. Yes. I support. So
I can't say so if we spoke to y'all so tonight, why don't you just share with your girl, leave a few little reviews, put some little comments. And because we don't just talk here, we transform. Until next time.